You know, Rob, they recently released the first trailer for Terminator Dark Fate. Now, there was a lot of buzz coming out of CinemaCon because they showed extended stuff at CinemaCon. Everybody at CinemaCon loved it. They released a much pared down kind of version of what they showed at CinemaCon in a trailer form. Had some mixed reactions. Some people thought it looked pretty good. Some people not so taken with it. Right now, we'll see how that evolves as new trailers and things like that come out. But one of the things that was very noticeable by their absence was any character or mention of John Connor. And a lot of people were writing into this show as well, like when that trailer dropped, saying, so what's going on with John Connor? Isn't he like the central figure? And I said, well, I mean, not every character has to be central in every figure, who knows, blah, blah, blah. But apparently, he is going to be a part of this movie, at least sort of. James Cameron was recently interviewed about this whole thing, and this is what James Cameron had to say about it. I think the best way to think about Terminator Dark Fate is to think about it as a direct sequel to Terminator 2. That we already knew. The third film in a series, if you will. We will be continuing John's story with Sarah's story and the T-800 returns. So that answers another question about, okay, is that Arnold we see in the trailer a guy? Or is that another Terminator model? Apparently it's a T-800. A different T-800 with a very different role to play than what we've seen before. I think tonally what makes this a direct sequel to T1 and T2 is as much about the tone as it is about the narrative. It's R-rated, so that's another piece of information that's come out. It's going to be an R-rated thing, which we suspected. It's grim, it's gritty, it's fast, it's intense, it's very linear. The whole story takes place in 36 hours. It's not this kind of grandiose, complex story. It's just very focused on the characters. It's very now, it's very present, and it's just a fast-paced, white-knuckle ride. So here we go. That's James Cameron talking about a film that he did not direct, by the way. Let's keep that in mind. But he is saying, a couple things come out in this, Rob. He's saying, number one, the John story does continue. It's like, okay, great. So they're hiding something in these trailers from us. If it's part of John's story, why not have John Connor? The other thing, he is confirming it's going to be R-rated, and then, of course, speaks very highly about the film, although he spoke very highly of Terminator Genisys as well, another film he didn't, unfortunately, direct. But anyway, Rob, you hear these comments from James Cameron. What do you think? Are you surprised to hear that John Connor's still going to be in this? What do you think about these comments?
No, I mean, I think, look, that question obviously hangs over the whole enterprise if it's a sequel to both Terminator and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
John Connor, where is he? What's he doing? So it's good to hear that. And you've brought, I don't know if they're going to bring back Edward Furlong. Who knows?
I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't either. I mean, unless it's some kind of a secret, or maybe John Connor's story is that he's dead. You know, and
that changes the future.
Yeah, it would change the future. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm excited. Look, I'm excited when anybody. You know what? I have to say, I thought Alita Battle Angel was much better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I agree.
When I saw it, and I don't think it got the due that it deserves. I mean, I think we live in this world now where everybody expects every movie to come out to change their lives.
Yes.
And when you get a really great, really beautifully made film that delivers what it was supposed to deliver, like Alita, incredible technology on display, and James Cameron was obviously involved in that, and a long-time passion project of his. I think it's going to be great to see him and Tim Miller. I mean, Tim Miller is a James Cameron fanboy. I've met Tim Miller. That guy, I mean, you just look at him. At CinemaCon, he came out and he was like crying on stage. He was so excited. And I'm rooting for these guys, man. I mean, I want to see some Terminator action. I mean, 3 movies. I'm interested in all 3 of these things we've talked about. Dark Crystal, Rambo, and Terminator. What's not to love? Old, venerable franchises coming back and kicking ass.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with the John thing. And you mentioned Tim Miller. A lot of guys keep forgetting that's the director of the first Deadpool movie. So we know he's going to bring something to the table.
Yeah.
How it's all going to come together, we're going to have to wait and see. What do you guys make of these James Cameron comments? Does it pique your interest going, wait a minute, so John Connor's story is a part of this? Okay, so what are they hiding? Or do you think that maybe like Rob is saying that he's just being a little bit aloof saying that, and he's not really playing a part in the movie? Maybe he died, but then again, who sent back the Terminator to save his mom in the first place? And it becomes an awful mess, as time travel stories often do. What do you think? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.